Welp, another celebrity with previously close ties to Diddy is leaving the US as it's being reported that Ellen DeGeneres and Portia have moved to the UK, right on the heels of news about Ashton Kutcher and Mila moving to Italy. It's like these celebs have seen the writing on the wall.
Celebrities previously connected to Diddy, seeing the writing on the wall and deciding to leave the US, is giving.
Did you hear that shit? Did you hear that shit? We gotta get out of here.
With over 10 new cases being filed against Diddy in the past couple of weeks, complete with unnamed celebrity co-conspirators, it's probably got a lot of people wondering, are there even 6 degrees separating Diddy from all the celebrity takedowns? From Ellen DeGeneres partying and having Diddy on her show multiple times before she was abruptly canceled and pushed out of Hollywood way before she was ready, with her show ending in May of 2022, which was just 3 months before Anne Heche's mysterious car incident and 6 months before DJ Twitch's uninvestigated self-infliction. Cameron Diaz's rumored fling with Diddy in 2008, to her abrupt departure from Hollywood in 2014, only to re-emerge 8 years later for a seemingly corny film plagued with problems from hidden things that go boom on set, to Jamie Foxx being the target of a $40,000 scam just weeks before he's almost taken out by an alleged over-the-counter pill from a friend? Or Ashton Kutcher's broship with Diddy in the early 2000s, where they partied through tragedies and went on double dates before Ashton finally met Demi Moore in May of 2003 at a party, after which the two went on a double date with Diddy and Kim Porter. Just a few weeks before, Diddy threw a topless pool party for Demi's ex-husband Bruce Willis, who soon after that party went from being an A-list actor starring in million-dollar blockbusters to going direct to video. It's looking like anybody who had dealings with Diddy is suspect. Meek Mills has been randomly hopping around social media playing dumb. J-Lo's block is freezing after Ben Affleck used her for clout before abruptly ghosting her after the Diddy raid, just like he did 20 years ago. TD Jakes was almost swallowed up with the bad association, and nobody knows where the heck Stevie J is. With all the celebs that have suddenly decided to take on Beyonce's mute challenge, I know I'm not the only one looking at every suspect thing that occurred in the industry through the lens of, did he do it? I mean, Diddy has always given off bad vibes, and if you want to be real about it, he named his record label Bad Boy. So he's been telling everybody for years what type of time he's on. When you add up all the scandals that Diddy has been linked to throughout the years, from the City College stampede in 1991, to the deletion of Tupac and Biggie, to putting hands and feet, champagne bottles, chairs, and telephones on music exec Steve Stout in April of '99. Then, just 8 months later, the nightclub incident that sent Shine to jail. Or in 2015, even allegedly swinging a kettleball at a UCLA intern after getting into it with a UCLA assistant football coach for disrespecting him and his son Justin. Seeing what he did to Cassie in 2016, or in 2018, Kim Porter's sudden and suspiciously fatal pneumonia. Not to mention all the new lawsuits that have been filed for his alleged heinous behavior that occurred as recently as 2022 and date back to 1991. It's not hard to imagine that some of the rumors have to be true. And then, when you see the video of Diddy in just a towel and striped socks running down Cassie in that hotel hallway before putting hands and feet on her, dragging her, throwing glass vases at her, and you think back to that statement put out by Diddy's lawyer, which said Cassie's lawsuit against him was riddled with baseless and outrageous lies, and that he was a victim of blackmail, it becomes crystal clear who the real liar is. That's when you realize that regardless of the details, the most likely answer to the question, did he do it?
Yes, he did. Yes.
And there's one Hollywood tragedy that came out of nowhere and was so senseless that most people still have trouble wrapping their heads around what happened. But when you get into the bizarre details and look at them through the lens of what's been going on with Diddy, it all starts to look like what happened to Jacqueline Avant in December of 2021 may not have been so random after all. In October of 2019, Diddy began taking steps to officially change his name to Love, which is a very surprising move because Diddy has gone through several name changes in the past, from Puff Daddy to Puffy to Puff to P. Diddy to Diddy, and he had been going by the new moniker of Brother Love since November of 2017, all without feeling the necessity to go through legal channels. So what made it necessary to now make one of his name changes official? Well, just a few months before, in June of 2019, a documentary which Diddy had participated in was released called The Black Godfather, which detailed the life story of Clarence Avant, who is widely referred to as the Black Godfather of Hollywood, the uncensored mentor and behind-the-scenes rainmaker in the music, film, TV, and politics, where he is given credit for getting several elected officials the support they needed to get in and stay in office, from mayors to senators to presidents. All these influential people and more, like Quincy Jones, Lou Wasserman, Lucian Grange, and other Hollywood power players, came together to make this documentary to show their respect and admiration for Clarence Avant, who was not only an industry mentor and influencer, but, according to Jamie Foxx, was also the only person who was able to help certain people out of serious life situations. Which is probably how Diddy came into Clarence's orbit, because as Diddy himself said in this very same documentary, Clarence is the one to call when they're in trouble.
Usually Clarence gets the call on a position of fear, because I called him like most people call him. He's the one to call when we're in trouble. Because, you know, we're in the music industry, everybody's getting caught up into something. You know, we're young, talented people never being hit with wealth or power. You know, I'm sitting here because I kept my ass out of jail like 2-3 times. I'm cured now though, everybody. I'm cured. Everything's good. You know, y'all can have me over for dinner. Everything is good. Thanks to the Godfather Clarence.
Now, although he doesn't go into detail about those particular instances, we are all aware of the times Diddy seemed to slide right on out of trouble. The documentary even detailed how Clarence helped a scared Diddy get off the West Coast after Biggie was taken, something which seemed to trouble Clarence later, because those who were around him at the time began to see another side of Clarence and attributed it to him really being affected by what happened to Biggie. Earlier in the documentary, Diddy said,
I'm gonna give it to you raw. Clarence makes sure that you don't get straight up. There's a lot of going on in the entertainment industry, and if you are important to the overall greater good, he's gonna step in like super black man.
And by now, we all know about Diddy's parties and his alleged MO of getting people on film. So on the one hand, you have Clarence helping a scared Diddy out of tight spots. But on the other hand, you have Clarence possibly helping others out of Diddy's tight spots. No Diddy. Which in Diddy's mind could have made Clarence a problem. Now towards the end of this documentary, even though at the time both Clarence and his wife Jacqueline were alive and active, the producers asked some of the participants if there could ever be another Clarence Avant. And when Diddy was tasked with this question, he says this.
I don't even feel comfortable answering that question because it sounds a little crazy. I don't want to. That's not something I'm not even trying to think about.
But as Diddy stares off into the distance, you can almost see the wheels beginning to spin. In fact, Diddy posted a TikTok in September of 2022 where he said that 3 years ago, God told him his purpose.
Check this out, y'all. 3 years ago, God made my mission and my purpose clear. And my mission and my purpose is to do whatever and play whatever role that I have to play into saving the black race, number one. And number two, to making sure that everybody of all colors, all backgrounds, all creeds, all nationalities, all get this. We all get the same 24 hours.
Now, counting back 3 years from 2022, you get 2019. And his purpose sounds very similar to what Clarence was known for doing. Moving the culture forward and making sure they get resources, access, and the same deal as the non-melanated who are occupying similar spaces. Then add in the fact that on October 3rd, 2019, just 3 months after this documentary, Diddy decided to announce the next era of his life, where he would be doing a lot of positive things, promoting black excellence, and getting money. So he was giving out his phone number so he could have a deeper connection with the people. A few weeks after this, he filed the paperwork to officially change his name to Love. Now the process took some time, so in the meantime, Diddy began practicing for his role, promoting black unity in IG posts, and toasting black excellence at the 2020 Rock Nation brunch. And it wasn't until May 3rd of 2021 that the change was actually finalized, and Diddy posted a picture of the driver's license that he said had just arrived in the mail, showing his name change and captioning the photo with, "It's official, welcome to the Love era." Diddy was ready to take over his new role. Only problem was, there was no vacancy. And even if there was, the role of the power behind the scenes certainly couldn't be filled by someone who lived such a hedonistic lifestyle and had so much dirt on his name that traces of it were properly kept as insurance. But if there's one thing we know about Diddy, is that he wants what he wants when he wants it.
Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get!
Fast forward 5 months to December 1st, 2021, when according to reports, 90-year-old Clarence Avant was in his home, asleep in the bedroom, just after 2 a.m., while his 81-year-old wife Jacqueline, who was typically up around that time, was in another room. When all of a sudden she came face to face with an intruder, who, according to reports, had bypassed armed security guards and broken into their home by shattering the patio door before being startled by Jacqueline, resulting in the intruder firing multiples without the security returning any fire at all, before the intruder fled the scene, leaving tragedy in his wake. Only for the intruder to be caught about an hour later, just 7 miles away, after pow-powing himself in the foot while in another home that wasn't his, where he then called the police himself to tell them that he had been pow-powed by a man in a ski mask, before limping out of the house to wait on an ambulance while crying and begging for help and letting everyone know he's a Christian. Police also uncovered Maynard's phone records, which showed that he had researched Clarence Avant and his home address beforehand. And then jailhouse calls from December revealed that he had expected to get $50,000 from the Avant house. And when he failed, he tried another house. He laughed about the publicity surrounding him and boasted that he was all over the news and wondered if his mother had seen it. Then he informed his friend that he would be free in like 20 to 25 years. Prosecutors used this information to secure a guilty plea, and just 4 months later, on April 21st, 2022, Maynard was sentenced to 190 years to life. The details of this tragedy and the swiftness of the resolution of the case still have a lot of people going, something ain't right. Because why would an inept robber know anything about a man like Clarence Avant, who stayed behind the scenes? What could he have been looking for in that house that he would think he could get $50K for? Why would he ever think that after 3 strikes as a career offender, he would ever get out of jail after what he did? And when did a case get completely resolved in 4 months? The questions that arise are endless. especially when you add to that the fact that just a few weeks after Maynard was sentenced on May 15, 2022, Diddy hosted the Billboard Music Awards, and his opening monologue declared that he was the freest ninja in the world.
And I told the producers I'm not listening to anything that they say, not doing any of that stuff, because I'm the freest nigga. Yes, you look, take your time, look at it.
And later that year, Diddy began referring to himself as the God.
And then y'all gonna let him throw dirt on the God's name?
It's giving somebody thinks they got away with something. But little did he know that less than 2 years later, his freedom would be a thing of the past, and he would be stuck in a real-life nightmare of his own making. Let me know what you think. Remember to like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.